Okay, guys. The first topic, continuing from yesterday. So we were talking something about the proration part and all right, and I did mention that it gets prorated, and let's try to see on the screen how exactly it works. Okay, and do you want me to do a transaction, or shall I show you already completed transaction?
Yeah, transaction would be nice, Vaibhav.
Yeah.
Okay, because I have one transaction, but okay, fine. Let me just try to do a transaction here. Okay. Okay, so let me just first of all create a requisition here. Okay, so yesterday we are speaking, right? So I'm just trying to enable a position. Here we have a lot of positions uh, for the HRIS analyst. Okay, I'll just enable one position, and then I'll just do a quick hire and assigning the pay group, and just during the process I will add the compensation also. Hire will be mid-period hire, so that will give an effect on the paycheck, and I'll show you how it actually works. So uh, talking about the requisition part, it may be there, may or may not be there in your tenant. So you have to, if the position is not in unavailable to fill, that means your position is okay. I have to do extra step here, so it may not be a step for you. Okay, so let me just create a job requisition here. Okay, so I'll just CHMS. Okay, so this is a requisition screen. Somebody interested in recruiting, so you can just have a look at it. Okay. Okay, so this I'll change. I'll make it as USA global. Search for USA. You see USA, or maybe I'll just press. Okay. Okay. I'm adding the salary now for this particular position. We will have to override this. We don't have plans. Okay, no worries. Let's see. Okay. We'll override it then. Did I not put the salary assignment? Hang on. Salary, ongoing severance. Hang on. Salary amount is required. So I had put in the salary plan or not? Plan name. Yeah, this is a pain. Up next, review Logan McNeil. I think this should be last step. Let us see. Okay. Okay, so this is open or not? Let us see. No, we don't want to post the jobs. So hopefully this should be open now.
Can we click skip? There
No,
is
I
an
think,
option.
yeah, no, I'm just going to the supervisory organization to check if now
Okay.
it is open or not. So I don't want to go for the job posting. Otherwise, it will be a long process. So I guess in your tenant, this is not an issue. This is not a problem. So staffing, yeah, is there? I think so. Okay, good. So we have this HRIS analyst 2 position. So let's now hire an employee. Country will give United States of America. Okay. Okay. So hire date will keep it as 9th because if you remember our bi-weekly is from 2nd of December to 15th December. So let's keep this hire date as 9. I'll come to that page.
Okay.
I'm just reminding myself also. So otherwise the data will not be created. So
Yeah, the main purpose is last, proration purpose.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is all good. Okay. Yeah. So this is the point where we have to be careful. 12/9. So I'm just hiring this employee in the second week of that bi-weekly pay period in order to check whether my paycheck shows proration or not. Okay, reason can be anything. So now we have that HRIS analyst position here. Okay, and I want to see the date again. Date is 9th. Okay, that's fine. So I think, yeah, this is okay. Submit. Okay, so that was a pre-hire, or is it already hired now? Yes.
Hired,
person is
hired.
hired. Okay, good. So we'll just assign the pay group. Pay group. So that also let's assign from 9th of December. Okay. Worker was Steve Smith, right? Okay, so we are good. Now we need to add the compensation for this employee. Change.
Vaibhav, we added the compensation during the job requisition creation, right? Will it not pop up automatically?
No. That was for the job requisition.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's a separate, like at the position level, we are just setting it up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to override here. I'm just
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it.
yeah. Right. Now, okay. So now we'll add the salary for this employee. Reason, let's give the reason first. So to keep the figure simple, let's keep it as 80,000 or 70,000. Okay, 70,000. Frequency will be annual. Okay, okay, fine. So we are all good, and then we'll give the compensation package. Okay, credit bill management. Right. Yeah. Okay, so we just added this. Okay, submit. Should be okay now. What are the alerts? Okay, total base pay is below the pay range minimum. Okay, so but these are alerts only, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, Vaibhav.
Okay. Okay, so let's now quickly run the payroll request. Pay calculation. Run pay calculation. Okay. So let us run for the complete. Okay, for the timing. But in an ideal scenario, if this scenario, we can also use workers and directly select the worker. Okay, it will not take much time to run the entire process. So I'll run for the entire process now. Okay. Okay. So pay. What was the task name? Pay results.
Pay calculation results for worker.
Yes, yes. So you should remember the task name as well, guys, because I keep on forgetting. So then I'll go to dashboard. But if it is like you have it at the top of your mind, then yes, definitely it makes a difference. Pay calculation result for workers. Results for worker. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so generated. So let us see what is the now amount. Okay, so now we have the gross amount, which is bi-weekly. Okay, so let's do some math here. So let us see. What was the amount? 70,000, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, Vaibhav.
Okay, that was divided by 50, 26,
Yes,
right?
bi-weekly.
26. Okay, so this is what is 2692. If I divide by 2, let's see if we get something like that. 1346.15. This is the amount, right? 16. Yeah, so the proration has happened. If you see here, it has rounded it off 1346.16. Okay, got it?
Yes, yes, Vaibhav.
Yeah. Only thing is this data preparation also is it consumes a lot of time, and we don't have much time. Otherwise, we cannot cover the topic. That's the only hurdle. Okay, guys. So let us just move to the next topic. So just give me a sec. I'll be back. We need to cover some reporting and audit reports and all. So once we have run the payroll, okay, and we need to run certain reports and all, and we'll just see what all reports we can run and what all activities we can do around the reports. So give me a minute's break. I'll be back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So today we will be touching topics on the reporting part. So let us see what all we have on the reporting front. Okay. So I'll just go to the payroll dashboard. Okay, so down below, we see we have a lot of reports. Some are audit reports, some are pay calculation result related reports. So here we need to understand, right, first of all, that some are audit reports whereby we check for the variances between current period and previous period, and some are like directly payroll registers. Pay calculation results are there. So let me just try and run one report, okay, to start with. For example, payroll registered by period.
Vaibhav, like
Yeah.
why are these reports important? Why do
Yeah,
that?
yeah, definitely. So as I said, right, basically when you run the payroll, after running the payroll, you generate a payroll register, okay, and payroll register contains all the earnings, deductions, taxes for the employee as per the company, as per the pay group. So all those reports are generated in the system, okay, and it's basically a part of the reporting. So these reports, you can say that for all the reconciliation activities, for all the audit activities, these reports are required, and Workday provides you these reports. Delivered reports are there, as well as custom reports are also there. Custom reports you can create using some data sources like payroll results, payroll result line, and all that, and you can create your own reports. But primary purpose is, of course, when you run the this thing, right, you cannot go employee by employee. Let's say, for example, the way we are right now seeing the data on the pay slips and the paycheck, what we are doing is we are just pulling out one employee, and we are trying to find out the earnings deductions and details like proration happened, all those things we are seeing there. But in real time, it will not be like that. You need to generate a payroll register, whether online system or manual system. You need to have a payroll register in the organization, and that particular payroll register will have all the payments made every pay period to the employees. Okay, it will also have year-to-date amounts, quarter-to-date, and month-to-date. All those amounts it will be having. Okay, so that is the primary purpose, and you need to payroll you need to basically reconcile the payroll. You need to do a reconciliation, and for those, these reports are required. Okay.
Uh, One quick question, Vaibhav. Can you just explain exact meaning of reconciliation, payroll reconciliation in normal words?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, if we typically a payroll like okay, so payroll reconciliation, I mean, if we talk about payroll reconciliation, it is like you have to do the math typically, whereby uh, like the gross to net, first of all, the gross to net is correct for all the employees. That doesn't go out of balance. And when I say gross to net, it will be like your earnings minus the before tax deductions, okay, minus uh, taxes, minus after tax deductions. It also includes the garnishment and arriving at the net. So this whole math, if it goes out of balance, the entire process will error out at a later stage, because you're in the payroll accounting side, the debits and credits will go out of balance. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so that is a core thing, and in order to do that, and in order to get like a view of all the employees in one go, you need a report, a consolidated report, which gives you gross to net for each and every period or sub period. So for that reason only, you need these reports. These are different kind of reports, provide you different details, and you are trying to do the kind of a gross to net uh, analysis and all. And plus, these reports are to be shared with the payroll director and various departments, and it also is required for the downstream purposes.
Okay. 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 So we can expect that we would get requests from the user to create custom reports for these purposes, right? You said we have to create custom reports also as a support consultant.
Yes. We have to create a custom. We need to create custom reports also. So
Okay.
you'll be creating custom reports, but prior to that, like the core report is the payroll register. That is the first report which has everything, and
Okay.
then we have the hybrid reports like payroll register by period and all that. So the base is that. So for example, if you see on the screen also, um, you have period and all on the side. If you see, there is a configuration. Use default payroll register. That's the configuration. So when I'm running this, for example, so let me just show you that. Maintain payroll register configuration. Okay. So this is, you can say, the layout. If you see here, I searched with the task maintain payroll register configuration. I'll not modify it because there are a lot of users using it. But yes, this is the basic layout based on which there are a lot of reports which are generated in Workday. And our payroll registers also on the basis of this. And if we go to this page back, payroll register by period, here use default payroll register. Okay. So default configuration it is using. So configuration, we don't have to worry about the configuration part because that is more of an implementer's job. So if you get into this part, it will be more complex. Like you have the sections and all that. Only thing you can you may have to do sometime is to add the pay component here. Okay. So but that also I think yeah, like in the implementer, most of the time the implementer take care of that. All the earnings are added before, and let's say in case new one is created, then you can definitely add to that. I mean, it will be clarified. I mean, going forward, I mean, this will get more clearer. So let's start running the report first, and then we'll see what exactly how these all pieces they join together, and it will give you proper understanding on the reporting part also. So let's start running this report first. Okay, so let me try running this report for our pay group.
Vaibhav, sorry if you have already mentioned, kind of we don't understand. What did you explain for what is a payroll register? It's like it has all the components, like when we run a payroll, all the components together is a payroll register?
Yeah, I'll run it. You'll see on the screen now. I'm just going to run it now. Payroll register by period. I'm just going to run it. Okay. Okay, so here you have the payroll register by period. So what it contains, if you see each and every column, worker, pay group, pay cycle type, whether it's on cycle, off cycle. You can see that yesterday we had processed one like payment for off cycle. Then we have gross, then the deductions which happened, okay, and then net. Then whatever is the employer paid. Employer paid, you know, right? Employer paid amounts.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So then you have the earnings, deductions, taxes, and all the employer paid benefits. So whatever comes on the paycheck is there. But if you see here, the way it shows up is the all the employees are listed in a particular payroll for a pay group and for a particular pay period. All the employees along with their data, they are listed here.
Basically, it is grouping all the employees' data
It is
in
doing
a
gross.
single report. In a
It is
single
giving
report.
you the gross to net, right? If you see,
Yeah.
there is a gross to
Otherwise,
net
you need to
happening.
go to each and individual employee to see all these results. Now it is presenting in one tabular form, right?
Yes, but if you see the downstream part also, for let's say you are trying to do a gross to net, and second thing is like you also have an option here to we can add certain year to dates and QDDs and all that we can add. So the way it works is like this all data you'll have to kind of validate, or a payroll department person will have to validate every pay period for each and every pay group. And this data also flows through the downstream systems also, and it is also for the quarterly reporting and year-end reporting also. But payroll register is something, yes, it will be either generated out of the system or manual also. In manual also, there have been payroll register. The purpose is that only for the reconciliation of the entire payment which has happened.
Okay. Vaibhav, I'm sorry, when you said employer paid, you're talking about employer paid benefits, right? They would give us some benefits,
Yes, yes.
that only, right?
Yeah, employer paid. Yes. So yes, exactly. So when we say employer paid, it's like some employer paid benefit, which will be which can be taxable at your hand.
Yeah, yes. Like you said, gym membership or something like that.
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
individual columns are there, which has got all the data what you saw on the paychecks. It's there. Okay. So guys, I mean, previously, just to know, like you guys have worked in any of the like payroll departments, or got exposed to any kind of payroll work previously, or this is just the first time you are like into payroll?
Siri,
We will keep on visiting this. No, no worries. We'll keep on visiting this content forward also. But right now, you can just take it this way, that payroll register contains all this data, all the gross to nets, and each and every um, kind of earnings deductions and taxes, employer paid benefits, everything is there in the payroll register.
so
So
Vaibhav, when
mostly
we are
who
in
will
this
view this,
topic,
Vaibhav?
Sorry?
Um, uh, okay, I'll go, Suresh. So mostly who will view this report, or maybe the payroll register, like who will
Payroll
do
team.
this like day to day?
Payroll
The
team.
payroll team. Okay.
Payroll team. Yes. Yeah. Any other question was there?
yeah, I was just asking from the interview point of view, Vaibhav, is it like, will it be more weightage if I mention that I worked on payroll registers, something like that? I know how to read payroll register. Like, is it worth mentioning or not?
You can mention that I had created certain payroll audit rules. I'll tell you how to create that. I'll
Okay.
explain you how to create that. So yeah, uh, payroll register, you can say that, yeah, you can generate the payroll register, but if you talk about any activity related to payroll register, what you can say is you have modified or added certain pay components to the payroll register. So immediately the question will be, what is the task for adding the you know what is pay component, right? It's nothing but earnings and deductions and all. So
Yes.
you can mention that, yes, I added certain pay components to the task to the payroll register. So they can ask you what is the task. So you can say maintain payroll register configuration, right?
Okay.
So yeah, so that ways. But having said that, there will be not much modification to this. This is, I'm showing you probably. Uh, you may not be frequently changing this or modifying or deleting any section, because otherwise it will be difficult for business. Every cycle or every pay period, this cannot change.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
okay, yeah. So, yeah, so this is one. Then we also have one report called Payroll Register. That's the core one. So let me just try to run that as well.
Vaibhav, are these reports helpful in troubleshooting anytime?
Yes, definitely. They will be, and especially the audit reports, they will help you in troubleshooting. The variances, previous period and this period, there could be variances. Definitely, it can happen. So, for example, this particular period, right? The payroll has got some issues, okay, and you need to identify, and it's not a technical issue; it's a data issue. How do you find out? So you will run the audit report, and you'll see that is there any variance in the employee compensation from previous run to this run. Let's say there is a variance of, let's say there was an employee, and employee had some kind of $3,000 as like the paycheck I was having gross amount $3,000 or $5,000. Okay, and a hypothetical situation, right? And if there is something like some data entry error, and this employee this period is having a paycheck value of something like a 50,000 US dollars, like the bi-weekly salary. So then there is some issue with that particular data. So of course you can run the audit report, and you have to basically find out the variances. So you can very well mention that also, that I was running the um, audit reports. When I say audit report, it's here only. I'll just show you. Okay, so let me just give you some example here. Okay, audit report of payroll. So our pay period has run only once, right? So it cannot be compared with the previous pay period. But let me just try to run for a separate pay group. Let's see. Um, okay, here now. Okay, so this particular pay group, it has got 7 employees, and now if you see here, there are certain this thing audit rules which are to be set up. Okay, so these are set up in the system, so you can very well mention that I had created some audit rules, and this it is applicable for everybody, right? Whosoever is preparing. So, and how do we create the audit rule? I'll just go there. First thing is, let's try running this. Okay, and I'm sure that there will be, I'm not seeing much data variation here. Let us see how much is there. So we're trying to compare the amount between for this particular pay group between the previous period and the current period. Okay, there is no data. Okay, let us see then what is the issue. We will maintain payroll audit. I think that is a task. Yes, so here, okay, let me just try to tweak something. So this is a place where you can create as well. For quick purposes, I'll just edit any one. Let me edit one. So for example, I'll just make it 00 for the time being. Okay, just to show you some data in that report. So we are now trying to edit the payroll audit configuration rule. Okay, so let me run it once again. So here, guys, you understand, right, why I'm taking a different pay group here, because our pay group has run only once, and that too it is in progress. And
Yes, sir.
so that's the reason I'm trying to do it with a different pay group so that it shows some values. So this was the one we modified. Okay, and let us try to run this and see if the data appears now. Okay, so now we have the data. Okay, so if you typically see here, gross current period result, prior period result. So there is a difference of 1000. There is a variance, right? Comparison percentage, right? So what is the difference? So sometimes what will happen is your payroll will have issues, and in order to identify what is the issue, right, you have to run various audit reports, and audit reports will tell you, right, where exactly these values are differing. So for example, in this case, this employee suddenly or this particular gross is like uh, 900, right? There is difference of 900, right? So how this 900 can be like to which pay component or to which worker the variation is coming, right? So that is something we have to identify, and these audit reports, they actually help in those. Okay, and you have to create an audit rule, as I said, right? Previously I showed. So here you created audit rule, edited actually. You can also create one. If I have to just create one, I can just create as well. Okay. Okay, reporting level, if you see reporting level, pay group, period, and worker. And if I see the payroll dashboard, you will be able to correlate it. Let me just show you. So down below, if you see, there are a couple of payroll calculation results for a period. Okay, fine. This one, payroll calculation result, comparison to prior period. Then this is prior period by summary. This is by worker. This is by pay group. Now have a look here. Pay group, period, worker. So here what we are setting, that's what you're actually seeing over there. Getting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would suggest in our tenant also you try to create some configuration rules. Maybe you keep it very simple. Okay. So let me just try to create one to show you what exactly
So
can.
can we add, can you just tell us what other option can we add in that reporting level, just to understand? Pay group,
Yeah.
period, worker is already added.
Yeah. So just see what all options are there. These are the only three.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever is there in the prompt provided, it can be added. Okay. So we can also set a worker eligibility rule if we want. If we want, let's say if we are setting up a very big rule and we want the rule to only work for management uh, employees, who are like from management side, so then we can have that. Or for example, if I want to have this rule only for my particular uh, you can say pay group. Okay. I can do that using this. In the selection list, I'll just add, I can add both of them. I can add the US semi-monthly and
So in this way, Vaibhav, all those three reports in the payroll dashboard will work on this eligibility, worker eligibility, right?
yes, because if you see here, if I
Okay.
tell you, yeah, let me just add this VKPG. I just added this. Okay, and let me just, okay, this is fine. So what rule it will have? Okay, this is the eligibility. So eligibility is only for that particular semi-monthly, and severity I'm just putting it as informational. Okay, sometimes it could be warning or critical also. Let's say there is somebody has got a gross pay of 100% hike in the gross pay. So that's a critical information. So then you will mark the severity as critical. Audit name you can put test. Okay, okay, and then you can put the payroll calculation gross. Okay. So you can just put a equal to amount or percentage, whatever you want to put. You can just add that. Maybe gross equal to, you can, it's basically comparison. You can put just 2% or something. Okay, we can also put a net here. So what are this gross and net, just to share with you. So going here, okay. So this gross, if you see here, it's a pay accumulator, right? And from where it is coming, it's basically our run category. Remember, on the run category itself, we have this gross and net. Okay. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to set a rule here. Okay. That if there is a variance of gross, 2% of variance in the gross, then show it in the report. Okay. We can also have one more rule, maybe net.
Ask a quick question related to this
Yes.
one.
Let's see.
So you're setting up rules, right, Vaibhav, here? So,
Yes, yes.
I mean, this by time to time, our requirement to see what kind of reports to be displayed in the payroll dashboard changes. Like what I'm trying to understand is by setting these things only, those reports will be generated, right? Like will be there in the payroll dashboard.
Yeah, yes, by setting these, we are able to run the reports in the payroll dashboard and the data will be generated in the payroll dashboard reports.
Yes, I understand till that part. So what kind of data is generated is ruled by all these criteria, whatever we are giving in the rules, eligibility criteria and everything, right? That's what you're trying to show us.
Exactly. So that's what I was trying to
So
show. Yeah.
will that be constant throughout the time, or else the requirement for the user to see which kind of data changes time to time? That's what my question is, because
Yes,
what I'm trying to understand.
yes, yeah, I got your question. Requirement will change as well. There could be a request to add some more rules. For example, it could be a case that there could be a, like, for example, highly compensated employees. There could be a separate rule you would like to have in the system. So in that case, you will have a rule like that in the system. And it could be a case that you may have to add some new reports and you would like to add it to the dashboard. That also is something that I'll show you later only. So all those things will be a requirement. So it will never be constant what you're seeing on the system. There could be some more variations which the user may request and which the support analyst may have to work upon.
Okay, so one more question related to this one only. So the end user, the payroll processing team people, will they be able to change these eligibility rules, or else will they able to select which audit, which rule they want to select, and accordingly, I mean, do they do all those changes, or for each and every change they come and ask us to do?
No, they will not be able to change. They will only be
Okay,
able to run. So if you
okay,
see here, this part which you're seeing on the screen is uh, done first either by the implementer, or at times it could be by the support analyst. Okay. But the other
okay.
part where you ran it, right? Here you ran it, right? Somewhere here.
On payroll dashboard.
Yes, yes. Here when you got an option to run. Okay. So this is for the payroll team. I'll just go to that page once again.
Yes, Vaibhav, for the end user.
Yes, yes, yes. So this is entirely this is the end user dashboard. But having said that, sometimes we also have to uh, run reports, or we can run it by the search. But yes, we may have to visit here. Okay.
Okay.
So here, let's say what you're seeing here as a, I'll have to select. Okay. So let me just have. So I think this will also not give you any data right now, because they have not configured much, because our data may not have anybody who has got. So coming to this point, this is the user screen. User will have only 3 options unless you provide the user additional options.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And
basically what needs to be put in there will be decided during the discovery phase, in the implementation, during the implementation time. So it would be like kind of, they will know what their company, the payroll processing team would be needing. So they will decide according to that, and they'll put all those things to start with, right?
yes,
During the
yes,
implementation
that is
phase.
true. That is true. But at a later stage, it could be a request from the payroll director that no, I would like to have this also as a part of a audit rule.
Okay.
And this is
Okay.
additional request, and that time implementation team will not be there. Then the
Right.
support team will be there. They have to configure the audit rule. So I
So
think that
how
there you.
often, sorry, Vaibhav, continue, please.
Yeah, yeah. So how often means like it will not be a frequent request as you have seen. So it will not be a very frequent request. It will be maybe once in a while, once in 3 months or 6 months, or it'll never be a frequent request.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Vaibhav.
Yeah. Right. So I think we created one rule, right? We haven't. Okay. So let it be like this now. Okay. We'll test it later on. We just added. Now we see it. Yeah. So here we have the test. Okay. And now if I go to the payroll dashboard, so this activity you can include in your this thing.
Okay, Vaibhav.
So see, now we got this test. So we can just have a look if it is running. So if the data is there, it will run. If the variation is there, it will run. Variance is there. Okay. So our rule worked. So there was a difference, right? We can see here the percentage difference is there, which is greater than 2%, and it's showing here. Okay. Any questions here? Any doubts? Okay, so I'll go ahead. So this is on the audit part. So for an audit report to run, we need to have an audit rule in place, and we need to have the worker eligibility and the audit conditions set. And I would request you to try certain audit rules and try adding to the way I showed you, and try running on different pay groups. You will get some data here. Then coming back to the same point where we had the payroll register, right? So that's the first point where we had left, and we'll just go on that front. So we'll just try to generate payroll data. Okay, so our pay group pay period was this. What is that error? Unavailable. Okay. Current period in progress is yes. So here, if you see, typically we have organizations, right? So here we can just, in the pay registered by period, there was no organization. Here we have an organization, right? And we can select organization. Okay, let's not give PDF now. I would like to use Excel. So I'm just trying to generate a payroll register in Excel. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so let us see if Excel is generated.
Yeah, we'll get a notification, I guess.
Yeah, yes,
So,
notification. Yeah. So, yeah. So this is the one. So let us try to open that. Okay. So typically, if you see, this is what is the extract for the data we added or we run in the payroll. Okay. And this is a core, you can say core payroll registered, which you extracted. And if you change the configurations here, which is not very much recommended, maintain payroll, not audit configuration, payroll register configurations. Okay, so here. Okay, so here, if you see here, where's that Excel? Just give me 1 second, please. Right, so the rules are here, okay? And what all components to be included, it's a here. And the layout is here. Do not worry more about the maintain payroll register rules, because that is something even there is no modification once the implementer implements. So that is not something you should say in the discussions and interview, because that's something like which is very much one time. Okay, only we can say yes, we used to use payroll register data to check the variances and validate the employee data. So those kind of things we can definitely say. Okay, then besides that, we have a payroll register summary report. So I'll just spend a bit of time on this one. Not so these are different type of reports basically, which you can run and just have a look how what are delivered reports. Oh, okay. So there is some issue with the configuration. Okay, and that we'll look into it. Then you have standard Workday standard reports. So here if you see, you have payroll processing result, payroll worker data, setup payroll. Okay, leave the setup payroll interface. So you select all these, you just find out what are the reports, what are delivered Workday reports. Okay, so list is quite long, but if you have any specific name, let's say earning or whatever, if you have any specific report which you would like to just see. No, it's not there. Okay. Anyway, so this one basically from here you can just find out if you have the report names. You try to search here and try to uh, run that report. So that's a delivered one. And if you want to copy any report, then you have the option for copying as well. So what is the task for copying the report? Anybody? Copy.
Go to the standard report, related actions, report, copy.
Yeah, copy standard report to custom report as on the screen. So that also can be done, right? So if you have a report name, for example, any payroll register, earning register, all earnings, maybe. Okay. Okay,
So
I'll not
I
show.
was
Yeah.
in real time.
Hmm.
Sorry. So we get to use these standard reports a lot.
Yeah, we use it, but there are a lot of custom reports as well, which gets created. And what you do is that's what I'll show you. So payroll.
Okay.
Let me just. So you have to use certain data sources, like for example, payroll result and payroll result line. So you can just note it down. These are two data sources which you use, payroll result and payroll result line in custom reports. And those data sources, they have all the data. Whatever processing data is there, you can use that payroll result and payroll result line. I can give you some examples at a later stage also on some custom reports. So that also you can uh, kind of include, right? So you can mention.
Okay.
But you should be aware that yes, when it comes to running the payroll or creating a payroll report, it is not the worker. Um, uh, Typically, when we do in the core HR, right, where we use the worker business object and the data sources, but that's not the one which we use in payroll.
Okay.
Yes.
So only these two data sources or any other data sources which would be used little
There are
more.
many. Let me just see if I have a document like that.
Okay.
Let me just see if I can just share something. I'm just trying to check if I can share something. Yeah, okay, so this one, I think, let me share it with you. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Vaibhav.
Yeah, so these are the, you can say, data sources. I'll send it to you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Vaibhav.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so going back to the same screen. Guys, start doing the activities, I would say, because that's very important. Otherwise, it will become very complex going forward. If we have to learn practically, definitely we'll have to um, try things in the system or try different tasks in the instance. Otherwise, like for example, now on the top of it, now we'll start moving forward, and then there will be different kind of topics like payroll accounting will come, then bank settlement will come. Then of course we have to do the payroll inputs uh, on the same pay period. I'll use the EIBs and do the payroll inputs and all. So these all tasks you guys also will have to do later. But if we are not comfortable with the task kind of before in the previous session, then it will be difficult. So try to catch up in the next 4 days. I would suggest that.
Yes, Vaibhav.
Sure, Vaibhav.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll do that.
Okay. Right. Okay. So then, okay. So these are data source. Coming back to the screen, you're trying to do some copying, right? So let's try to copy any one report. Payroll register report design. Okay. I'll just open this. So you can have an idea. Uh, okay, fine. Yeah. So I wanted to show you here like the payroll register, right? What data source it is using, like payroll results. Okay. So filter is there, and this is the business object. From the interview standpoint, you should know that payroll result is there, payroll result line is there. Okay. These are two ones. And worker is something which is secondary. Worker is not a primary one, which is a secondary one. Okay. Sometimes you can use the worker business object. You have to pull the data, but if you see here, payroll result also has the employee ID, worker, period ID, company. Okay. All the content is there. Yeah. So try copying this also. I mean, try copying, create one report of your own and try running it. And delivered reports, I already showed you. There is a list of delivered reports. And audit also, I showed you that we can create audit rules, which we can utilize. Okay. And then one more thing is there. Let me just see. So payroll register, I think. Yes, payroll. Yeah. So for generating the spreadsheet also, we need to like include this particular uh, earning in a pay component group. So like these are the delivered pay component groups. This I'll explain in the next class. Okay. But this is also one activity we have to align it to the earnings and deductions. So right now the task just for today is, of course, the back whatever we've done previously, we have to do and run the payroll, and plus try running different reports, try to create some audit rules, and try to see what exactly is the result from the audit report. You can run for any other pay group as well, if not for the your own pay group. Try to copy the delivered payroll reports, the Workday standard reports which we saw here. Okay, we already seen this. Workday standard. Standard Workday report, right? Or Workday standard report. Standard
Work
Workday report.
standard reports.
Standard.
Standard
Yes,
reports.
yes. So let us just narrow down the search here. Not the setup one. I just want this one. Okay. So let us see what comes out. So we have a lot of data here, a lot of reports here. So, but we'll just filter it. Audit report. So you can see here, like the reports which you are running also, it's here. You have all these reports here. Try to copy it. Try to create your own reports as well. Audit report for, yeah.
One quick question. Yeah, actually, we have been seeing these things for quite some time, and I get really overwhelmed to see the number of results in this Workday Standard Reports window. Can you suggest like few to just start with, so that we will be in the right, will be working in the right direction, not to get overwhelmed, not to get confused?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, I think you must be seeing the DSN payment and all this. But if you see on the screen now you should be more familiar with the ones, right? For example, this one you already ran, audit pay
Okay.
calculation result comparison to prior pay period.
Right.
So forget about this content. You just ran that report in the dashboard, right? Do you agree?
Yes, Vaibhav. Yeah, now it is more clear. Yeah, better than before, definitely.
Yeah. So if you scroll down, so whatever you've like done till now, for example, let's say even for the other ones, uh, this is for the processing ones. It has a mix of all, like you can say Canada year and also, okay. But talking about the payroll processing report, so DSN and all, like basically we don't use it, right? FLSA is Fair Labor Standard Act, right? That's a specific US topic. Payroll balance summary. Now, okay, if you see here, this one is a meaningful report. Payroll balance summary. Pay calculation result, deduction rate. So this one again, see if you see now, pay calculation result, deduction register. This is a meaningful report. So let us try to pick up this one. Let us try to run this one. Okay. So anything with the prefixes, DSN, all those things, you forget about this. Like basic thing is like you go with the pay earning register, pay deduction register, garnishment register, whatever higher big level components you have learned till now. You try to pull out the reports for that and just try to see what exactly is the data. Try to copy those reports if it is possible. Just okay. A deduction register. Let me take a bigger data. Okay. Any specific deductions you remember? 401k? 401 is there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Let us try to select all these. So don't get overwhelmed with this. Obviously, it's an ocean, right? And you go to the paychecks, and whatever you see on the paychecks, right? Uh, that is something for which you should look for the reports and all: earnings, deductions, garnishments, federal taxes, state taxes, pay balances. Remember, we had a discussion of
Yeah.
pay balances as well, pay accumulators. You'll search with those keywords, and then you will kind of uh, get correct results.
Okay, Vaibhav. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So here also we have to just see what exactly why the data is not coming. Yeah. So we need to check this. But from your side, you can just copy it. I'll just check this. Why exactly data may not be there. Probably data may not be there or some issue with the report. I'll check that. Okay. But if you see here, the payroll result, worker, employee ID, company, organization, period, deduction code, pay component group, current period result. Everything it gives you. So for example, for the audit report also, initially when we ran, there was no data, right? So you can say that this is a part of your troubleshooting, right? You have to just check in the system and I'll tell you if I'll see that, and if I fix it, I'll just share it with you guys. Okay, so it will give you some troubleshooting ideas as well. So, but right now either the data is not there or the report is not working. That is for sure. Okay. So yeah, guys, I think we'll continue for today.